A very good morning to all of you. Thank you once again to join Sharp at 7. And we are going to enter to day 16 today. It has been a fantastic journey so far. Every day has been an experience for us as well. While we were preparing the concepts in sequence for everyone, we realized that these small things also can make a big difference in everyone's life. So let's continue the journey. Let's embrace that self transformation and make our life a better space to be in. Before I go and start what we need to discuss today, I want to just take you back to your old childhood, your own era when you were fond of listening to stories. How many of you in the room? First of all, let me ask. Just just type Y in the chat box if you like to listen to the stories in your childhood. How many of you waited for that moment that this was the time of the day when you were narrated different kind of stories, maybe by your grandparents or maybe by your parents? And if you would have ever heard those stories and you can resonate with the stories, you would remember that the messages you learned in those stories have stayed with you till today. Let me take very simple example. One story which is of a very, this is a famous story of an elephant. So there was a mahout, a man who used to take care of an elephant. And when the elephant was very young, very small, like a baby, he used to tie that elephant near the tree with a very thin, small rope. And with the thought that the elephant will never run away or will not go from his place. So for many years, he tied that elephant with that one thin rope. And the elephant started believing that this rope is a big barrier which he cannot break. We all know elephant is the huge, the largest animal. When that elephant grew after a few years, that rope was still that barrier in his, or that obstacle in his movement. So there was a farmer who was just passing by and saw that big elephant tied near the tree with that thin rope. He went to that mahout and asked, इसको आपने इतनी पतली रोप से बांध रखा है, सरप्राइजिंग ये अभी तक यहाँ से गया भी नहीं और ये कैसे यहीं पे टिका हुआ है? So the man said, you know what? When he was a young baby, since then I have been tying with this rope, this elephant with this rope. And the elephant has developed his mind that this rope is not going to let him cross that barrier. कैसे हम एक छोटे से इंसिडेंट को अपने लाइफ में एक अपनी लाइफ का एक लिमिटिंग बिलीफ बना लेते हैं. सेम वे, like girls love to read fairy tales. In their childhood, when they read all those fairy tales about Cinderella and all those beautiful stories, they start believing it is a reality. And they build up that kind of scenario in their mind. And that's how they grow. And when they enter the real world, they look for that same story which they were connected with. How many of you could resonate with this thought that the stories you heard, the experiences you had, and the days or the events which you have already got in your life have been a part of you till date? How many of you feel that that is still there with you? Maybe in a good form or a bad form, it is still there. I'm not saying it is only a limiting belief. I'm just saying it becomes your belief system. So जो हम कहते हैं ना, हर इंसान का एक बिलीफ सिस्टम कैसे बनता है, this is one way of building your own beliefs. So today we all are going to understand that what is this concept of story and how we all can become our own masters. We all can become writers and make our own story of our life. Are you ready to create your own story? Be the director of your own movie, your own life, and start today's session. If yes, then again I want to see one big thumbs up, or maybe yes, coming from all of you. And then we jump straight into the concept. So today's concept is really interesting. Just give me a second. I'm sharing my screen. So we are in day 16 and it's just we are coming closer. We are approaching to our D date. And let me tell you a big reminder, Sunday is a big day for all of us. We have been waiting for this day, 11 o'clock. We all expect you to be there. Okay, let's jump into the concept, something called as your old story versus your new story. Now, as I shared this story already to build up the concept, we all know that the experiences, the things which we see from our childhood till date, till you can say up until now, whatever you have experienced, that is the part of your story. That is what you start believing in. And that plays a very vital role in building up your personality, in building up your thought process, in building up the way you start reacting on a particular situation. So all those things play a very vital role. So now when all those stories really play that major role in your life, if it is helping you to grow, and if it is helping you to be a new and the best version of yourself, continue doing it. But somewhere down the line, if your old story is not letting you progress, or somewhere down the line, your old story is not letting you go ahead in life, your fears, your struggles, your limiting beliefs are holding you back, then definitely you need to think twice. We discussed about self-transformation. We discussed about the ways we can get into the journey of self-transformation. This can be an additional tool in that journey. Now, let us understand and take it further that how your old story becomes your narrative. आपकी story, आपका कैसे वो narrative बन जाता है of your life. See, whenever, as I said, the past experience play a vital role. Imagine a boy who is really good in sports and he's always appreciated by his coaches and all the teachers who watch his play. But he's very poor in studies. He struggles a lot. And his complete focus of his family is that he should complete his education. He should score good marks. So when he goes back home, he's always been reprimanded and he's always been shown that mirror that, see, this is what you have scored. इतने गंदे नंबर आए हैं, ऐसे कैसे करोगे, ऐसे कैसे डॉक्टर बनोगे और इंजीनियर बनोगे, which is the favorite dialogue of the parents when they are just pushing the child to do something. So that thought of that incident stays with the child. हम रियलाइज नहीं करते हैं, बट वो छोटी छोटी चीजें कैसे हमारे दिल में वो घर कर जाती हैं, that it becomes a part, it takes a major space in our own story and it stays with us because we have always been told you cannot do it, you are not good enough, you are not able to handle it, you are always scared of taking any step, you are not confident. Continues repeating the same sentences becomes a blockage in our mind. So that past experience holds you back. So if you would see in a family, if there are 5 cousins staying together, every child in the house will have his own way of reacting because he has been holding things in different ways in different episodes. Then we go to our belief systems. Belief systems, as we have discussed enough about it, that how our belief systems and the way we start assuming things, कैसे हमें चीजों को देख के हम assume करने लगते हैं कि oh, this is the new exam coming in, I want to try, but I know I cannot do it because I have to study really very hard and I know I cannot crack maths exam. So that stays with me and it continues and it keeps on haunting. So कैसे ये आपकी progress को रोक रहा है? If on the other side, the child who faces the similar kind of experience, but the child is thriving to go ahead, wants to break that rope which the elephant was tied with, and wants to take a step ahead and challenge himself, that child outshines, right? So, this is how you get stuck, and this is how you stay there where you are. So your past experiences, your the stories which you have been narrating to yourself and you are holding in your mind are all big reasons for you to give that narrative which you are living right away. Now, how many of you have experienced the same kind of situation and felt, yes, I also said the same thing to myself, and I have held myself back in not doing so many things which I would have done. You might have felt मैं बहुत capable हूं, but मैं शायद कर नहीं पाई क्योंकि मैंने अपने आप को उस बैरियर से क्रॉस करके आगे जाने ही नहीं दिया. How many of you feel the same? Okay, I can see the long list of messages. Sorry, I didn't read. Let me just quickly browse through. Okay, me coming in. Okay, chalo. So now let's see what we can do. Let's see further that how your old story can be replaced by your new story and you become the author of your own life. It's wonderful experience because when you start writing your own story, when you start believing in yourself, even if you achieve an inch bit of success, that's you, that's your real success. So that gives you that strength that as if I can do this much, I can go ahead and challenge myself more. And that's how you start building that courage. So let's see now how you can redefine yourself. We have stayed in that space for so many years now. Up until now, we were there in that space. Now let's create our own story and make this new narrative for ourselves. To do that, what will happen if you do that? You will redefine your identity. You will start experiencing your real self, which you have overshadowed over the period of so many years. You wanted to explore, but because of your fears, because of your failures, because of your past, you could not try it. So when you start writing your own new stories, this is how you become a new version of yourself. This is how you redefine your identity, your own personality, and start experiencing things the way they should be. You empower positive change. As I said, even that inch bit of success is a big success for you because you have outgrown from that limiting belief and come out of your fear. And now you are fearless. Now you are open in the world. Now, like that elephant, you can roam around everywhere and you are not stuck to that one thin rope which was holding him back for so many years. You will start visualizing your success. When you visualize your success, we have talked about visualization in depth. We will be taking it more in detail, but this is a beautiful thing. Basically, as we discussed about visualization and said that the dreams are always there in our mind. We keep on dreaming. We want to do something. We want to achieve something. Maybe the dreams can be called as your goals. You have them in your mind. But when you start giving them the real picture, the actual picture of your life, you will see that you will create your own story. So these are the things you can, this is what will happen to you actually when you will start writing your own story. Now, by own story here, I also mean that sometimes, as I've always been saying, that our mind is a monkey mind. It keeps on telling us so many things which are negative, and we jump towards it faster. But we have to control it and tell that monkey mind, no, I am going to now change how I feel. And that's where the first step you take. So, how to start this journey? It's a very simple process. It's not very complicated. It's just that you have to be mindful. It's just that you have to be present in that moment, because now you are doing the most important job of your life. You are writing your own story. It's a blessing. You've got that moment which you're going to experience. And this is how you are going to start your journey. So first and foremost, for any new thing you start, it's very important कि किसी भी पुरानी चीज को पहले आप acknowledge करो and accept. When you acknowledge it, when you start accepting it, yes, I was believing like this, मैं डर रही थी इस चीज को करने के लिए, that was my old story. Accept it. There's no harm in accepting, because the moment you accept, you will tell yourself, yes, now I have to cross this. But if you stay in the denial mode and you continue telling yourself, नहीं नहीं मैं कभी नहीं अंधेरे से डरती, मुझे तो कभी डर नहीं लगता. If you keep on telling yourself this, but you in real life or if factually you are the other way around, then it will be a double task for you to do or to take a new change in your life. So first is acknowledge. पुरानी story को accept करो. Then define your new version. Sit down calmly and tell yourself and ask yourself that what is something that you want to do in change of what you have been experiencing so far. अगर मुझे किसी चीज से डर लगता था, if maths was my biggest problem and I have always tried to escape from that subject, I'm just picking up a very simple example for everyone to understand. So I have accepted that it has been my big roadblock. अभी तक था, बट अब मुझे इसको चेंज करना है. और अब अगर मैंने चेंज करना है तो देन आई हैव टू स्टार्ट रीडिफाइनिंग माय होल सेल्फ. सो आई हैव टू सी व्हाट आई कैन डू, how I can make these changes. Maybe I sit with someone who is expert in the subject. Maybe take advice from someone who can tell me better. Or maybe take guidance of someone who can show me the better path and take me ahead. Because if that is the prerequisite, if that is the most important thing to go ahead in my journey, I have to cross that. Then only I can reach ahead. So define your new version by identifying your own blockages, your fears, your failures. Accept and start changing that story. Third is identify your core value. Now, I also discussed about this value system, that your personality is combination of experiences, your belief systems, and your value system. You can never deviate from your value system. You will always come back to what is right or wrong for you. As a personality, as an individual, जो चीज आपको गलत लगती है, even if it is going to somewhere benefit you, maybe you will still not cross it. And you have to accept that, yes, this is it. Like for some people, honesty is a big, big value which they will never compromise on. So for them, if you want them to cross the barrier, maybe someone says, suppose that if you become more liberal in life and if you start slightly manipulating things, you might start earning better. But for that person, honesty is the core value of his personality. For him, telling lies is the biggest drawback of any person. So the person will not compromise even if he has to earn little extra. So value system is very important for everyone. We all have our own. So jot down, identify what are those core values of your personality which you identify and you want to stick to that. And it's good that you stick to it if it is helping you. If you feel that you can deviate slightly, it's good for you. But now as you're writing your own story, it has to be up to and according to your terms and conditions. Then you set realistic goals. We have discussed about goals also, that SMART goals we were talking about. And one important feature of the SMART goal R represents realistic. Don't create hypothetical goals. Sapne dekhne is okay. But when we are setting goals, we have to set goals which are achievable and realistic. So set realistic goals. which are real in actual life. Then practice affirmation. This is again, because why practice affirmation? Let me tell you what is affirmation. It is just continuously telling, it's a positive self talk. When you keep on repeating positive statements to yourself, you build up that strength, right? So, up until now, you have been telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I am fearful. मुझसे ये नहीं होगा. So, yahi words, these are also affirmations, but these are negative affirmations. You have been repeating and telling yourself till now these words. तभी तो कोई भी नया चैलेंज आता है, आप सबसे पहले डर जाते, सबसे पहले लगता है मैं ये कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा. So that thought comes because of all those things which we have been doing over the period of so many years. So now start practicing affirmation. Tell yourself, I can do it. I am good enough. I will achieve that. I'm becoming the best version of myself. When you repeat these words to yourself, again, your mind doesn't know what is right or wrong. Your mind doesn't know negative or positive. It only hears what you say. We discussed about power of words also in the past. So those words, if you have to use them in your favor. Don't use them against yourself, especially when you are creating your own story. Next is surround yourself with support. Now, we have been insisting about this community and support system from since day one we have been, and this is our initiative, and the purpose is basically this. Because see, it's very easy to fall back. It's very easy to go back to square one. Because the moment you are out of the energy and space, you have been living that life, so बहुत आसान है वहां जाना. And you become again the victim of your own circumstances. So if you are surrounded by the support system like this will help you to keep aligned, to keep charged. Like I always say, that when you have to use your mobile every day in the morning, you have to recharge your mobile. Otherwise, रात तक जब बैटरी चली जाती है, next morning you are not able to even make one emergency call. So for that you have to recharge the mobile, right? वो तो एक टेक्नोलॉजी है. हमारी बॉडी कोई कम है. We have to we also need that energy. We also need that strength. We not also need that power to move ahead and in the right positive direction. So surround yourself with the support system where it can be anyone. It can be your friends. It can be the community setup. It can be your parents. It can be the people around you who boost you up, and cut off yourself from people who pull you back. That will also be a big help to yourself. Embrace continuous growth. Whenever you are moving ahead and you embrace growth, that's where you are moving in your journey. That's where you are progressing. That's how you are breaking your barriers and going out of your comfort zone. So, हमेशा अपने comfort zone को challenge करना, it's very difficult. But the moment you feel that there is some jitter, there is some like butterflies in your stomach, that means you are doing something different. And if you are experiencing it, it's very good. Because till now you were relaxed. Till now there was no such sensation of coming out of any comfort zone. But when you are trying something new, those jitters will be there. Let's not make those jitters our roadblocks. Let's make them glitters. Let them be a driving force and take us ahead in our own journey. That's how you will embrace growth and move ahead. So how many of you present in the room? Let me just stop this, because when I am looking to the messages, I can't read. So let me just ask the people present in the room today, how many of you are inspired to create your own journey, your own story from today? How many of you could acknowledge, identify, yeah, this was the reason, this was the roadblock which was holding me back? Thank you. Thank you for all your me's, for all your messages. Yeah, I can see me coming in such a strong way. Yes, we all are actually somehow connected with the same kind of old belief system. Let's break it. Let's use it in our favor. That's why we are here for. That's why we have built up this community to give you that strength. And it's a promise that we are going to continue this journey even after this 21 days challenge. Okay. So with this, let's go to the next segment where we set our intention. So as we align our intention, always similar to what is the concept. So today you have to set your intention for the point that which is that one roadblock holding you back from your old story. Just identify it. आज दिन भर में आप सिर्फ अपने आप से 5 मिनट बैठ के उस चीज को आइडेंटिफाई करिए and accept it. Second thing is accept. Once you accept it, things become easier. So identify and accept it, and then move. Set your intention that you are going to write your own story for that. So I would love to hear those new versions of yours in the group. It would be a great experience because you would be coming out of your comfort zone. We are asking for too much. But yes, you all are prepared for that. So we are sure that you are going to go ahead. Next, we go to the next segment where we talk about the exercise of the day suggested by Dr. Vanita. So today we are taking the routine of back stretch. Child's pose for a minute, cat and cow stretch for 1 minute, cobra pose, and seated forward bend. So these are the back stretch exercises, which you can take the screenshot if you want to. And when you sit for your physical, maybe you sit for your exercises, you can try these as well. Last is the nutritional tip of the day by Dr. Shweta. So now let's see what food items you should not eat empty stomach or you should avoid, right? Because sometimes it's suggested that when you have something empty stomach, it might not suit you and you face some kind of nausea or something. So let's see what are these. Fruits. It leads to sugar and insulin spikes. So fruit, because it has its own natural sugar, empty stomach, it should be avoided because it increases your sugar level. Cow milk, because you must have seen बहुत बच्चे सुबह सुबह दूध पी के जाते हैं और I used to experience it. बच्चे बस में they feel nauseatic and they feel like puking. So cow milk is sometimes it is acidic in nature and it creates gastric problem. Acidity bhi hoti hai. So it is heavy on the stomach to digest in the morning. So you can have it after having few bites of something. And next is coffee. All coffee lovers in the room, it's a sad news. But yes, this is the fact of life. I have also read this and realized, let me just alarm myself. It is acidic in nature because it gives you acid reflux and it burns your heart. So avoid it empty stomach. It's good you can have it later, but avoid it empty stomach. So with this, we come to the end of our session. I'm proud of myself that 7:29 is the spot time. I just wind up with everything and now we go to our ritual. So all of us can quickly switch on our cameras. We'll have one group photo and we wind up the session for the day. Okay, so we are good to go. Fine. So with this, tomorrow we meet again at 7 p.m. Oh, 7 a.m. I'm so sorry. And just giving you heads up, Sunday special, 11 o'clock. Please keep yourself free. We are coming up in a big way. Okay? Bye-bye. See you soon. And please send your takeaways in the group. Thank you so much for all your presence. Thank you.